Have you ever been in a situation where you're listening to a very successful person or an expert in a field, and they're telling you or giving you advice that you need to achieve a particular goal? For example, let's say you're listening to one of your very successful mentor and they're telling you how and things you need to do to achieve your goal, the kind of mindset you need to have, the ideas you need to have to achieve your goal. And in that moment, you're so inspired, so motivated, everything makes sense to you. You feel like, oh, this is what I've been missing. And you're ready to go, you're ready to take action, you're charged up. But then you tried implementing these ideas, you tried putting them into actions, and you realize that it's not quite working out, or you are just unable to solve the puzzle. For example, a popular one is follow your passion. And when you take that, you're like, yes, I'm ready to follow my passion, I'm ready to make money, and I'm ready to hit my goals. And then you find out, or you come across, then you find out that I don't have a passion, or how do I find my passion? What if I have multiple passions? What if I have none? Like, how do I find this passion that you're talking about? What if I've never been super excited about anything extraordinarily in life? And then we come to that block and everything, the whole steam just goes out of our engine because we're hitting a roadblock and we're like, there are people that they know what they want to do from probably primary school and they followed that exact plan to the adulthood. You're probably in your 20s, 30s, and you've probably dreamt of 20 different things you want to become in life. And, you just don't know what your passion is. So this today is to the people that the mainstream advice is not working for. And what I want you to know is that you can tweak them. What I've realized is there are general rules, but there are also exceptions. If you find that some of this mainstream advice is not working for you, you can tweak them. You can change them. I want you to take it as an experiment that you can do. And as you go along, you tweak it to your own situation. You tweak it to meet your own needs, to meet your own experiences, your own makeup. You can tweak it. You don't have to take the advice as is. You can take it, experiment with it, and make changes. They are not set in stone. They are malleable. They are things you can tweak, you can change, as long as you understand the underlying principles that guide these ideas and mindsets. If you're someone that the mainstream advice or the mainstream principles, they are not just working for you, this particular video is for you. And I'll be walking you through some of the popular ones that we have and what you can do with them, how you can tweak them, how you can experiment with them to get your desired results. The first one I'll be talking about, like I mentioned, is follow your passion. This is on the top of the list for anybody that is trying to get clarity on their career or trying to determine what they should do with their life, what kind of job they should do. This is on top of the list for people like that. Follow your passion, chase your passion, find out what your passion is. But what if you are unable to find your passion? How exactly do you find your passion? Which comes first? Do you find your passion first, or do you try a bunch of things and while you're trying is when you find your passion? These are the kind of questions that come up when you get the idea to follow your passion. So my advice to you today, or the tweak to that particular mindset or advice, is that take it as an experiment. Start with curiosity. What are you curious about? What do you look at and you're like, I want to figure out how this thing works. I want to know the behind the scene. I want to know how point A connects to point B. So start with that. Follow that curiosity and take it as an experiment. When you decide to follow that path, that curiosity, of course, you might have a lot of things you're curious about. But don't overthink it, don't overstress it. Take one of them and say, I'm going to stick with this one for the next 6 months to 1 year, and I'm going to see where it leads me. What you're going to do in that period of time is you're going to take the particular thing you're curious about, and you're going to learn everything you can about it. You're going to try to work with somebody in that field, literally go through, try to figure out how it works, what you'll be doing in that particular role, and just stick to learning everything you can and doing everything you can, experimenting with that particular thing for 6 months to 1 year. And then at the end of the day, you can reevaluate. But as you're reevaluating, also have at the back of your mind that if there's a spark for you in that thing, then you can stick to it. I believe that your passion is developed from you doing things. If you've never had the exposure of experimenting with so many things, you might not find out what your passion is or what you're excited about. And your passion is not necessarily one thing. You can be excited or curious about a lot of things, but pick something and stay with it for 6 to 1 year. And if you like it, really like it, then continue and keep experimenting with it. But if you really do not like it, then you can pick something else you're curious about and then experiment with that thing. Talk to people that are doing it. Intern for people that are doing it. Let me assist you for this period of time. You don't need to pay me. I just want to see how you do it day to day. And that's how you build your passion, by doing experimenting with a lot of things, different things. That is when you get to discover what excites you, what you like to do, what problem you like to solve, and things like that. So the next time you think about that idea, follow your passion. Have an experimental mindset to it. Experiment with it. Start with curiosity, then have an experiment time, 6 months to 1 year, and then reevaluate and decide what you want to do from there. And from trying different things is where you find the things you are happy about, the things that excite you, that inspires you, and then you can take it from there. The second mainstream idea is there is one best way to get to where you're going, or there is one best life you can have, or there is a best life you can have. In life, there's no one straight or best path to get to where you're going. I don't think there is. I believe in life we have turns and corners and U-turns and maneuvers and different ways you can get to where you're going to. And you can have possible multiple things you can do in life. Like, you can decide to be a doctor and still have a fulfilling life, or in a multiverse, in another alternative universe, you can pick another career and still enjoy your life and still have the kind of life you want to have. So I do not believe that there's only one thing, and if you miss that thing, that's it in life. So I want you to, for the perfectionists that want to figure out the one absolute way, the best way to do something, and without figuring it out, they are not going to take the next step. This is for you. What I want you to do is know that life is not a straight path to where you're going. It's a curvy, up and down, corners, U-turn way to get there. And enjoy the process. So when next you have to make a decision, learn to make decisions fast. Make decisions fast and reiterate on that decision. So if you're making a decision, make the best decision based on the facts that you have at the moment. If you need to do more research, give yourself a time frame, a deadline. I have 2 weeks to research on this thing, and by the end of 2 weeks, I have to make a decision. Because if you don't do that, you realize that 2 weeks is going to turn to 6 months, going to a year, and you will not do anything. Now, if you give yourself 2 weeks to make that decision, and you make the decision, then in 2 to 3 or 4 weeks later, if you find out that there's a better decision to be made or there's a better route, you can course correct and try to make better decisions. And within that 6 months, probably you've made 3 or 4 decisions, you've learned, and you've made better decisions than just you doing nothing in that 6 months. That 6 months that giving you enough time to experiment, take action, experiment, take action. So see it in this part also, take it as an experiment. See it as, I'm going to try this. This is what I think is like a good option with what I know at this moment. I'm going to run with it. If I come in contact with more information and I think there's a better way to do it, then I'm going to make better. I'm going to make better decisions. I'm going to make amends. And then you keep going, reiterating on the decisions you've made. So learn to make fast decisions. Give yourself timeline. I need to make decisions fast. And that's how you learn and keep learning, because you learn faster when you take actions, when you gather the experience, than if you're just there reading and thinking. You get more data, more information by taking action. Another mainstream idea or mindset is work hard. I won't downplay the part of working hard, but working hard is only part of the equation. It's not the entire equation. So yes, work hard, you need to work hard. But sometimes you also need to work smarter, and there are other factors that comes in. Leveraging networks, opportunity, the knowledge that is available to you, and so many other things. So when you're thinking about, I just need to work harder, I just need to work harder, sometimes take time to pause. Rest is important. Having a time of stillness, like just pausing everything around you and sitting and be still is important, because sometimes in that moment when you're away from everything, social media, every external pressure, and you're just sitting and breathing, ideas come to you, you get clarity, you're able to reevaluate how you're running your life, if this is really what you want to be doing. You take time to read up, to read things, you take time to talk to people, leverage relationships. All these things cumulatively come together to form the equation. So hard work is part of it, but it is not the only thing. So next time, my tweak to this is, it is good to work hard, but it's also good to work smart, and it's good to rest. Rest is important. It's like the 20% that is going to change your 80%, or is going to give you the 80% result. Work hard, work smart, leverage relationships, read. The amount of knowledge you have is going to, or what you're open to, or what you are exposed to, can greatly influence your progress in life. Take time away from external pressure, and just sit with yourself, meditate, think, reevaluate, pray. Do you get it? Helps you. That's where the ideas, the breakthroughs, the new directions, it opens you to new frontiers of things. So do that. Don't just work hard, so you don't get trapped in the cycle, in the rat race. Take time back to rest. Take time back to read, to research, to listen to people. Take time to build your relationships. And that is going to help you. It's a whole equation of different things, and hard work is just part of it. The next point is the idea that it is too late. Our society tends to have like a standard of when you're supposed to do something, and when you're not supposed to, when you don't get to do that thing at that time, it is termed too late. You're supposed to have a successful career in your 20s. You're supposed to be a millionaire in your mid-20s, your 30s, and all that stereotypes and everything. Well, I do not believe there is one measuring stick or one standard for everybody in life. We as human beings are so diverse, and in our diversity, I don't think that there will now be one way or one process for the numerous diverse people on earth. I don't believe so. So I want you to take the time out to think about your own process. If taking out all external pressure and looking at yourself, you're enjoying your own process. It's okay. Enjoy your own process. Take the standards that the society have come up with, take it as an advice, and then take that advice and tweak it, make it your own, chart your own path, and chart your own process with it. Thank you. I get it. This is the standard you have. I take it as an advice. But I'm going to take this and then make it my own, and I'm going to chart my own path based on my own story, based on my own makeup, based on my own experience. The next one I have is having a universal definition of success. We tend to have like a universal definition of success, which is measured by money and power, or money or power. But there's so much more to defining success. Like I mentioned earlier, we are so diverse that I do not believe there is one metrics for measuring different things for people. I think that there are so many other metrics that you can use to measure success. Peace, impact, a good home, a good legacy, different things that you can use to measure success to different people. So I don't want you to feel under pressure that the only metrics you have is money and power. Having a good home can be a greater metric for you, and it can be a combination of things. It can be money and power and a good legacy. It can be money and a good home and having impact. The proportions can be 70, 30, 20. It can be in different proportions for different people. But take the time out, sit back and define what success looks like for you, so that in whatever thing you're doing in your endeavors, you are not pressured by what other people are setting as standards for themselves, but you have your own internal compass as to what it is that success looks like for you, based on the different metrics that you have defined, and based on the things that will bring you fulfillment and happiness in life. Because really, I mean, what is success to you? You define it and let that guide you in what you do. It's not everybody that wants to live the life of a mega millionaire, or because in everything you're chasing, there's a cost to it, and you might not want to pay that cost, or bear the cost of probably being away from home 6 months, a year, or not sleeping for 2-3 weeks. There are people that they thrive on that, and there are also people that do not. They would rather just be comfortable, have freedom, socialize with their friends and family, and that's success to them. Freedom is also a good metric for success. So you need to determine what success looks like for you, and let that be your compass guiding you through life. Remember that you can always chart your own path. You can always make your own rules. There are general rules, but there are also exceptions to the general rules. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this. If you know that you've gotten a thing or two from this video, also like. And remember that you can always chart your own path. Bye.